our values are from our parents' time, while our dreams is from this time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have the values of my dad, but my dreams is someone who's 19 right now.
Yeah.
And that's why we're in the middle of both worlds.
Stuck.
We're stuck. I don't know if I should stay in my values or should I jump in with those younger generation because that's where the money is so I can make my dreams.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode from PodcastTea. I'm going to lay it out from the beginning so you guys don't, talk about us unintentionally. We look like a traffic light today.
Well, that's why.
If you look, red, yellow, green.
And I am going
But
to
notice something. The green always comes from me.
No, yeah. Basically, we represent the
I
path
have no
of life.
comebacks.
No, we represent the path of life. That's
Super.
where you have to stop and look for your mistakes because it's red.
Yeah. And here you jump,
You wait.
There,
You wait for your next
You do
step.
it, you don't do
Yeah.
it.
They're connected
Here-
to the numerology.
Here you
Risk
have.
Path of
taker,
life,
that's what
Yeah,
it is.
here you just go for it.
Just
right?
go for it.
So yeah,
Anyways,
Wow.
welcome everyone to another episode. Today we have everyone, all hosts, in one shot.
and that's the first time, right?
Okay, and this is
Yeah.
our first episode all
Trio.
together. Your trio, Noor, Shali, Baha. Today's tea. I don't know what's the tea, Noor.
We have
So
a chai latte
today,
today.
we're having a chai latte.
Woo.
I know we're just a little back to the roots here, spices and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But today's actual tea. What
Mhm.
is the tea?
What is the tea?
That. Why is this to me?
Shad is like,
I didn't read any. No.
I just wanted to put them on the spot. Unprepared people.
No.
Just kidding.
It's not about. I'm not prepared.
No.
I didn't prepare. I didn't read anything as of what's going on
we did
today.
not discuss even what is it
No,
gonna
so
be. But hey,
here's-
guys, the tea is
So
today.
the topic, okay. I told them it's going to be something that we all lived, especially people that actually had to come here very young, and then at one point we had to shift our careers to something else due to our circumstances with war and everything. So today's podcast is about living our dreams later in life, and just we're going to brush on that a little bit. And you don't have to have a tea. It's okay, guys, because this is
We
a
are
big
the tea
topic.
today.
We are the tea. That's a good way to put it. So I wanted to kind of just start with just from observation. Like if we look back in time and just how our grandparents, uncles, our people in our family, and just looking back to decades back,
Mhm.
people couldn't really say, okay, I'm done being an engineer for 20 years. I'll go do something else. That was very rare. It was rare everywhere else, not just in Middle East or not just in USA. So it was kind of, if you decide to let your career go, it's like they're going to call you crazy. Like, okay, yeah, this crazy left 20 years of successful career to go chase something like sport, or it could be to be something else in life. And I think we, in our previous episodes, were kind of like brushed on it a little bit, but I think each one of us has sort of a story to it, because we all come from backgrounds where we live in households where the same system in every household. You got to grow up, go to school, and then, work a career job and build a family. But
So here's where I think about it.
mhm,
Like it depends on each person's definition of a dream. Okay.
true.
So a dream life is having the same job for 30 years.
Yes.
Okay. And he knows that he's going tomorrow at 9 a.m. to work, coming back at 5.
Yeah.
And
So
then after,
basically, you're talking about a person who loves the routine.
yes.
Yeah.
And like that's their dream life. I have a good job. I'm taking care of my family. I know after 5:30, for example, or 6 p.m., I'm going to spend it with my family. And a couple hours later, I'm going to bed, waking up tomorrow, same thing. That's their dream life.
Mm-hmm.
They like it to be like this. They're 65, they will retire, whatever, 70, some countries, they will retire and that's it. You know?
But these are the people that was their dream and they went after it, if that makes sense. Like, for example, my dream is to be a nurse. And I became a nurse, and I'm just
Okay.
going to be working as a nurse because that's something I love, being in service, and I love to be there for people, to heal people.
Yeah, that's their
I'm a
definition
healer.
of a dream, you know?
Right.
Like
Some
their-
people,
yeah,
but
their
they
dream
still
is to-
followed their dreams. But then you have people that are like, they went after something because it sounded cool, and then they tried to they did really great too. They passed with high grades and everything, and then they had to kind of hit a wall with themselves, going like, do I really want to continue doing this and I know how to do it and I'm really great at it? Or should I really fulfill my gut and just leave all this behind? But I think this topic just came to mind because there's a lot of people nowadays that are like, okay, there is more people that are turning off their careers and turning on their dreams. And they're just like, I'm going to go after it. Right. So, Shally, I'm going to just kind of give this to you because I feel like your background is when it comes to education, is very significant. And then just, I don't know, share a little bit about yourself, for example.
As a career-wise, life-wise, dream-wise.
Yeah.
Definitely not there with the dreams. Definitely I'm not where I want to be. And back to what you just mentioned about now people are stopping and saying, do I really want this? And I think because of our generation, because back in the days, as you said it, like my dad wanted to be an engineer. He liked to be a mechanical engineer. He went there, he had the job, the pay good, that's it, he's stable. They did not even have that much of a variety of options to when it comes to you can actually work somewhere where you don't have an education beside basically restaurants or something like that, right? So now we live in a life that you have a lot of options.
True.
And they're all attracting us. And with our education or without, we can do it, right? If we just have the guidance and the good training, and it gets a lot of money. So that's
That is
where I
true.
got confused, I think, in my life. I graduated from high school, basically back home in Iraq, and I didn't get the best grades because of the war and all that. I was studying in the middle of all
Thank God
the
you
bombing
passed.
and yeah, like I don't know how I even passed. I didn't read anything, and it was a disaster. But I made it out, and because exactly what you said in the episode, where it comes to how the Middle Eastern families think, and because I have my older brothers, because they're both doctors, my dad an engineer, I could not make it to any of these schools with whatever I got as a grade.
You know what kind of pressure you are
That is a
under?
big
Yes,
pressure.
yeah,
Like
it's bad. You know,
your
I'm
two
just
brothers are doctors. Your dad is an engineer, and then here's you. You
It's like,
barely
so-
passed high school.
yeah, like you
Your dad goes like, so what are you trying to do here?
no, you end up thinking that you're the dumb in the family. You're
Right.
you're that stupid person that they are unlucky to have. But you know, like he was so my dad was so disappointed. Like at some point he was like, "What do you mean you have to repeat this last year so you can get better grades?" And because it was so exhausting mentally to me to be in that situation and all the pressure, I said, "No, I'm not wasting another year of my life just because I want to go to this school." But he insisted and he said, well, then you have to go to one of the private schools and I'll pay money. I don't care.
Just-
You know, I'll pay you money, but be an engineer. So I don't like to be an engineer or anything, but I do love computers. Like I am a computer geek when I was in even high school.
Mhm.
You know, I do like hacking chats and I like doing stuff like this, like to that level, right?
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time on it. So I said, okay, if it's a computer engineer or a software engineer, I'll go. And we found that a software engineer, and that's how I spent 4 years of my life studying software engineer. It was fun. I liked it. It probably was the best choice that I could have made at that time with whatever options that I have back home in Iraq. Then,
So you graduated in software engineer, so you got bachelor's. right?
Yes. It's a
Okay.
science. It's a Bachelor of Science software engineer.
That is amazing.
Right. And I do have like that little badge that they give you as an engineer back in Iraq and all this.
نقابة المهندسين.
Yes.
that's
That
what
is
it's called.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then after that, and with all the refugee status that I had been waiting for 5 years, after I graduated, like a year or two, I was looking for a job.
Right.
And I didn't know what to look for because there's not a lot of options in my area or whatever I learned.
With the circumstances we're
With
going through.
everything is going
Yeah.
on. Even the field itself was tough. It was new back in Iraq in 2000. We're talking like 2008, 2012.
Oh, that is true. As a field, it was.
Yeah, it was nothing. Like not a lot of people really like it. And then after that, I went all the way to like small companies. A lot of them were fake companies. A lot of them were like I was just chilling and I'm getting money and I don't know if he's money laundering or I don't know what's going on. But I'm going every day with one of my
That is so
friends
funny.
and this old man, he's just chilling and getting a lot of young people around him and he just pay us money every day. And I'm like, we're doing nothing. Like I don't even know what the
You're not
company
gaining
is about.
skills.
Nothing. No skills,
Mhm.
nothing.
Mhm.
So I was so confused about like the whole word and a whole career, the career reality. It was shocking for me, right?
Mhm.
But I got a chance to go to a total different things. I was literally by chance walking in one of the hotels to do an interview about something, and I got interviewed with another company across of that room,
Mm,
and it was a bank,
okay.
right? And I said, I want anything. Like I just want to work. So
Yeah.
just get me into anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like
I want a real paycheck.
Yes.
I feel like your bachelor is just a pass to get a job.
It's just for your family.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter
Like-
if you're gonna work in the sector you studied in
Yeah.
or not. It's just like, oh, I have a bachelor's. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. You
And
can be a teller.
And when you think,
know,
when
as long as
when do you
you're-
think
yeah.
that shift
Shows commitment.
Yeah, when you guys think that shift happened, that you have a degree, but it doesn't matter what you're gonna work in. Because back, if you go to our dad's generation, they'd graduate from that sector or that field, they work in that field
True.
until somewhere around I think like late 90s or 2000s when it came in,
Mhm.
and then people start like graduating and totally work something else.
Mhm.
So back to my story is basically that's where all the confusion about career and dreams. But I've always liked computers, whatever is dealing with the computers, right? But I didn't find anything around me. I found a banking opportunity. I took it. And then after a week or two, I should have done a training. But I ended up getting a call from the refugee, the UN in Jordan, telling me, hey, get your paper and pack your stuff. You're leaving in 10 days. Okay. Where? USA? Okay, what should I do now? Leave the opportunity?
It's that
And-
call that everybody waits
Yes.
whenever you're just a refugee.
I
It's-
didn't know.
It's like the golden call.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's been 5 years I'm waiting. I even forgot about it. And then they called me and said, hey, you're gonna pack your stuff. Your flight in 10 days. And that's where I took that decision of like, should I go or should I not?
Mhm.
Right. And then I think each one of you probably, I don't know about your experience when it comes to that
Yeah,
part,
this-
but you
Very
came
all-
in,
similar.
We all had something
She
to
came
do,
in
but
really
we had to
young.
make a decision.
you came in really young, right?
Yes.
So you're with your family kind of
Mhm.
situation. I don't know when
I came in alone.
you came in alone again, but
Mhm.
you were old. Like
I was
not,
like
not her
23.
age.
I was 23.
When did you get the call? How was the situation was? Where were you?
I was in Amman,
Okay.
going to Petra University,
Okay.
working in a TV channel. I used to live a life in Jordan, like no
But I was
other
living
young,
lavishly. You
no
had-
other young kid Iraqi kid in Jordan was living.
You had zero.
Like no commitment. All I was doing is having fun and
Mhm.
like working in a sector that I love. I was like a broadcast director, and like I work 6 hours a day instead of 8 because I look at screens all day long.
Yeah.
So my boss at that time was like, "Oh no, we're not doing that." So like it was really great. Okay, but what's next for me was
It's
was blurry.
uncertain.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
was blurry. And I got that call.
So
You're
do you think you as Baha
Hmm.
at that time when you get the call, you were ready? You were like saying, yes, I've been waiting for this. I'm ready to go. Or you said, should I leave or should I stay in that career? And
So I applied 5 years before
Mhm.
that call.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always 5 years.
Yeah, it's always like I don't know. Like my family waited for longer.
Yeah.
Sadly, but 5 years. It's like you get to a point where like, oh, they're never gonna call me. You know.
Yeah, you
And
totally
then you get
forget
that
about
call.
it.
Like you get that call suddenly,
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, yeah. Now you gotta make a decision. But that decision to me, honestly, was easy. I don't know why.
Yeah, for me, it was
I
hard.
know because deep inside I wanted to leave because
It's very expensive in Jordan
yeah,
at the time.
it's not only that. Like it was not clear to me that I want to spend a longer time
in
there.
Jordan.
Although, like, I loved it there. You know.
Jordan's fun.
So hey, we're gonna leave in what, like 20 days?
Yeah.
Kind of call. I was like, oh yeah, of course, I'm ready. Yeah, you
But,
know, I went to my boss. I was like, hey,
I'm
that's it.
leaving. Bye. Right?
Yeah, it's gotta go. Like, and even they don't discuss, oh, why you're leaving, you're here. Like, you'll have more potential, and you know.
No, they know.
Yeah, they know. Like, yeah,
It's
you
everyone
should
dreams
go.
kind of in the Middle East, which for some reason I think nowadays it's faded. That the whole thing like, oh, I'm going to USA.
Now I
and I'm-
have a different perspective.
No, even the people who
Completely.
live in the Middle East now, I think they don't want to go. Like they're fine where they are.
Yeah.
What about you when you guys get the call? How was the whole situation at that time?
My dad was napping in the living room. I
Oh,
still
nice.
remember very well.
It's that afternoon nap.
And my mom was working, and I was
Hamoudi was born at that time, right?
he
Yeah?
was
Ahmed was there.
he was two, I
It was
think.
2, 1 probably.
He was 2.
So you have two brothers, you and your mom and dad.
I was literally like cleaning around my dad, you know, acting like the good girl while my mom. I always do that so I can
You pretend that she's
no,
good.
so they can let me hang out in the afternoon.
Oh,
like
yeah,
so
fair enough.
I have to like make sure everything's spotless so I can get the yes. Like they look around and they just let me go.
Mhm.
So when my dad got the call, my dad, you know when somebody takes a call but they're napping?
Yeah, they are not fully awake.
Yeah, so he hung up and he went back to sleep. Even though I was listening to the conversation and I know it was a big deal at the time. And I'm like, yeah. So I woke him up. I was like, yeah, so
How old you?
who called you? 13, I think.
Oh, so you know what's
Yeah.
going on. Kind
Yeah, I
of,
was like, who called you? He's like, oh, the IOM. I was like, yeah, what did they say? And he's like, I don't know. I guess we're leaving. And for me, I was devastated
He's
because
so chill.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I guess we're leaving.
And because for me, it was like, I'm not going to play with my friends anymore.
Oh yeah.
I have over 10 friends. Like I play with almost every day, if not every day, every weekend.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, oh no, like, because I don't know what USA is in that age. Well, where are we going? It's nice here. Like, even though circumstances is not the best, but my parents knew what's best for us is leaving.
Yeah.
But even when I met you, I feel like whenever you came here, just a little background, whenever I met Shally, she was going to the Art Institute in Pittsburgh.
Which is another.
And I still remember one time I was just chatting with her, just randomly. We just met. That was years back. And I said, you know, like how many years and you'll graduate? And then she said something like 2 more years or something like that. And I said, oh, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, this will be my second degree. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, I know.
And then she's like, oh, I have a software engineer from Baghdad. I almost like spit out my food. I said, what?
So
You
you went,
do?
so you went to the art. What is it? Art
Art
Institute of
Institute.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Like to do what? VFX.
It's the second part of my life. So because my dad loved studying, like he's probably not, if he watched me, he's waiting for me to get the PhD next, and like
Yeah.
that's what he's
My
actually
dad
look
is that
for. So I
kind.
always want to like
Like
I want to be where he want me to be, but it's kind of like hard for me. I don't know
Mhm.
why, because I don't like studying in general. But when I came in
Same here.
here, I think
I hate it.
no, but I think he really gave me that total different treatment when it comes to go do whatever you want, which was a total shift for me and my relationship with my family when it comes to education. So when he first came, he's like, try to get a master degree because you already have a 4 years. You don't want to study again. We tried in Pitt University and all that, and they kind of laughed and throw it on my face. It was really bad. She was like, "Oh, we count you as undergraduate," and I didn't know the deal. I don't know like what she wants exactly, what kind of papers she wants, and what's the requirement.
It's like your credits are not
they're not equivalent, and you have to pay money to get it to an institute who will do the equivalent for you in USA. I didn't know about this whole thing.
They call it معادلة.
So what I said, I was like, Dad, you know what? Let me just study again. You know, like it will be good for me to see how the education is.
Your dad was here?
Yeah, my dad was here for a visit.
Okay.
Like first when I came in, like after a month, he followed just to make sure that I'm in a good situation and all that.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go and try to. Probably would help me to get involved in the community, to learn about US even more. If I'm gonna be in classes and I'm gonna learn and I'll see people, students.
Right.
So that's when I decided to take another bachelor, but I didn't want to go for another deeply computer stuff. I wanted to do something for fun.
What made you choose your second major?
Because it has computers. It has to deal with a computer when it comes to it. I like to work on softwares more into like I'm not a hardware person. I'm more into using the softwares and doing stuff with it. And at the same time, I like movies. I like watching movies and see those creatures or something they do.
So
and I always wonder how they do
you
it.
Love, right?
Yes, it was more for me. This time it was more something that I really like to do. So I choose the visual effects motion graphic, and I finished it less than 4 years because they kind of took my degree in a serious way, which doesn't make sense, right? I wanted to study master. They didn't let me. But then when I studied, they said, "Oh, we'll take all the equivalent that you have in the last. You don't need to retake it."
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the Art Institute.
No, they were
that
really...
does not exist anymore.
Not in Pittsburgh, but they're still elsewhere.
Yeah, I know, but like...
So that's basically the story of my second career kind of shift.
So it's... To go after your dream or something that you really love, it's a big conversation. If not, it's very emotional conversation to even have with yourself before you even tell anybody else. Because it's like... You are coming out and say, "Oh, this was a show." And now I really want to do this, you know? I was reading about just people that we know, celebrities, and...
We know celebrities?
Do we?
We know celebrities?
You know we know a few. She knows more. So
like on a personal level.
I don't know celebrities.
My only flex when it comes to celebrities is my cousin, Abdullah.
You're my celebrity that I know. How about that? See? Brush you off.
What?
Yeah, he just got it.
What? I just got
2
it.
seconds later.
I just did not hear it.
Yeah.
But they clicked somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah, but what about celebrities? what's going on with
celebrities?
With my friends?
So your friends. No, for example, you have Brad Pitt. We all know him, right?
Yeah.
As a celebrity.
Yeah.
He used to be a limo driver, and he drove strippers in and out parties, and then that's what he did. And then he actually...
I didn't know that.
He was a furniture mover too. He moved furnitures as a second job.
Really?
And then he found an agent. He took a couple acting classes. He found an agent, and after 7 months... 7 months, he landed his first role from finding an agent. And another shocker one I was reading about, we all know Pope Francis.
Yeah.
He used to be a janitor.
How come he make it to that level then?
He just studied and he was doing something else as well.
I thought this stuff comes like in a total different way. Like you cannot be...
But even with faith, look at that. Like somebody be like, I want something more fulfilling. So if faith fulfills you, you go after it.
Yeah.
Same thing on the acting side. And so, and these individuals didn't come to that thought very early in life when they were like 21. Like they came to it later in life.
Yeah.
Like nobody remembers like Brad Pitt when he was so young, but we know seeing him in movies because he's really good at it. But it gives me that thought, if these people decided to stay working their normal jobs, they would have never added anything to humanity
as big as we know it today. Yeah.
So it takes me back to how, and let me ask you this, how do you guys think of generation nowadays? Are they more sticking with the blueprint, or they're following their dreams?
We have like the internet revolution that has been happening the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, kids in middle school and high school were getting exposed to things on the internet
Right.
that would they never know, okay, in decades.
True.
So when they look at them and be like, oh, okay, I can, like one of the kids, he bought Bitcoins when he was 13 just because he was on a server somewhere playing, and friends told him on the internet, oh, this is going to be the next thing. By 18, he's a millionaire somehow. Okay?
And that's what get our generation in the middle confused.
Exactly. So when we talk about the newer generation, they have more chances to succeed and quicker also
Mm-hmm.
because um, the internet right now and how it's being utilized.
Right.
You know, in the past couple of years, like Discord servers and Reddit servers, those little kids are joining them to
12 years old.
12, 13, 14, 15,
Making money.
and making money on deals. Like I know somebody, okay? He goes on Discord servers and he gets cheap stuff
Mm.
and resell them, for their actual value.
Mm-hmm.
So when he looks that he's making money that easy in different ways,
Yeah, why would he need the
looking
education?
at a specific, like at the what I call is the regular system.
Mm-hmm.
When he looks at it, it does not make sense to him.
Yeah.
So
Like why when it comes to, for example, some of them when they look into education, they'd be like, okay, 4 years, yes,
With the
I will
80K
learn, yes,
on my
80K
shoulder.
in debt.
Uh.
4 years later,
True.
to get a specific number as a salary that will never let them pay their 80K debt in
And,
at least 10
and
years.
that's one of the reasons today on the radio the lady was talking about the amount or like how the percentage jumped to like almost over 20% when it comes to college and schools closing in the recent 2 or 3 years.
I believe
There's
that.
no attendance. People don't like our the new generation, the people who came after us. They don't want to go that route, and I feel like they have all the rights. Also, education is really important. I love it,
It's very important. Yeah.
but they see all these chances around them. Like I can do anything else, but not go to school and spend my time there and
Like-
have a loan in my shoulder.
Yeah. And there is another thing. There are a lot of influencers who are our age
Mm-hmm.
are giving those information online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, they are posting, hey, you can do this. And like someone who is 17 years old looks at it, oh, this guy is making so much money doing this.
Let me try.
Oh, let me try it. I'm going to do it. They go do it and they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that vision shifts,
Mm-hmm.
From, okay, yeah, probably now I can think about something and can do it myself,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and they do it and they see it works. Why? Because every single resource they need is available.
True.
Mhm.
They come up with a new idea, they can create it, they can find someone online to make it for them too.
So this is the younger people, right?
Yes.
Right now. So we're
Yes.
talking about these people who are probably like 18 and younger,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
these are the people that are currently
They're up to date with the game.
not just up to date. I think they broke the system.
Kind of, yeah.
The,
And
the
honestly,
system is
I like it.
broken. It's
Yeah.
like
The system is rigged.
it's like, oh, you went to this college, good for you. And they keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
And it's kind of like a person of that sees these things as valuable, that kind of went to Ivy League school and all that, just started to make as much money of this 19-year-old that made that money 2 years ago, or that salary. So
Can I? Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off here.
mhm,
I follow a Twitter account.
mhm,
This guy goes to high school.
mm,
Okay, But every morning at around 9:15 in the morning, he posts and he says, "This stock is going to go up, and I'm buying." And like the market opens at 9:30.
Okay.
Okay, 9:30 the market opens. This stock is up 200%.
Wow.
He's in high school. It's like I can't wait to be done with high school so I can.
He feel like it's an extra thing.
Yeah.
See,
no,
back to like he's doing it for family, probably.
and then he finished his last final,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm 18. I have $3 million sitting in the bank, and I'm driving my dream car.
That's it. He's done.
Okay, so the really great point you just made.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Okay. So here's us. Okay. 90s kids. Okay. Okay.
What is that?
We went to school, we graduated, we followed the blueprint. Okay.
And then we get hit.
So usually, like the generation before us, when they did that, we're like, cool, we'll do it to go to school and do that.
Mm.
But when we did that, the younger generation didn't
Laughed at us.
Didn't look at us and say, cool.
Yeah.
We actually looked at them and we started questioning, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So now you got these generation, which I think like late 80s, 90s kids, we are right now living in a limbo of, okay, now I got all these degrees that making okay money, but not necessarily what my cousin who's 21 making it streaming a game.
Yeah.
Honestly. And it's just like you start questioning, even though if you have a career job, and we all do, and it's like, now I have a different perspective. I love what I do, but I go there and I count till it's 5 so I can leave and work on something on the side
Mhm.
till I can get somewhere, because now we're just
Yeah.
chasing time.
So
We're chasing
here's-
time with skills and everything.
Yeah. So like my thing right now
Mm-hmm.
is I want to buy my time,
Yeah,
which is the most valuable thing.
it is.
Okay. I'm at an age in my life, I want to buy my time. That's all I want. Okay. A job will not buy me my time.
True.
You know, there has to be something. Okay. And I'm working on it, inshallah.
Mm-hmm.
It's that will, not let me go 9 to 5 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way. If you specifically, like, we live in the US, okay? Life in the US is way different than what people think. You know, we spend at least 10 hours at work, at least between going, working, coming back. This is like 10 hours of your day is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's the time that we are looking for. That's the dream for me,
Mm-hmm.
is buying my time, being able to spend it with my family, being able to take care of the people who I love, make a family, have kids, be around my kids all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's,
And to your point.
Yeah.
So whatever you're thinking is probably every single one in your age, my age, is a situation, right? This is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
But why we're stressed is because we want to have this, and at the same time, if we're gonna have it, we're not gonna have time because we want the money. So if you're not at somewhere like a level of a millionaire where you're comfortable, you cannot really buy your money. You're gonna give your you're not gonna buy your time. You're gonna have to pay with your time to get the money so you can spend it on the ones that you love, and that is the problem.
that's what it is right now.
Yes.
So like, you have to get to a point where, okay, I have this system running for me. I created, people are using it, as generating money for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I can spend that money on the people I love
True.
and I want to take care of, you know?
Yeah.
So, that's how it is. And that's what the younger generations are doing from
the beginning.
the beginning,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So they are not thinking the way we're thinking. Why? Because internet is booming during their youth,
True. Yeah.
you know, and they had all the resources. And like, now with ChatGPT. I can't imagine.
It's timing. They arrived in the right time where things were just more easy and convenient. And
I think we arrived in the right time too. Honestly, you know why?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you why. Because we experience stuff they will never experience.
We have the both words.
No,
You
but
know-
we're talking about career, and we're talking about,
Yeah, but I mean,
we're not talking about childhood and all that. We're talking about like,
Our values are from our parents' time, while
Yeah.
our dreams is from this time. Does that make sense?
hmm
Like I have the values of my dad, but my dreams is someone who's 19 right now,
Yeah.
and that's why we're in the middle of both words.
stuck.
We're stuck. I don't know if I should stay in my values or should I jump in with those younger generation because that's where the money is, so I can make my dreams. It's really hard. Like for younger generations, they are in a better timing, 100%,
Mhm.
because I believe the internet was already done. That whole new things were already like into the game. That whole revolution, like not even just the internet, because when we grew up like a 13, 12 years old, we did have internet, but it was a basic like email.
We
Yeah, that's
played
why I
maybe a
said
chat
it's in the
room.
peak, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the peak was done, and now people are developers and everyone are like building crazy stuff in it. That's when we were busy just studying whatever sector we're in, while the younger generation were into it, were using it, were
Yeah.
getting themselves into it, exploring it, getting creative with it, right? Start doing like the bloggers thing, the whatever thing. Like when I was
Like-
12, there was no bloggers.
Like when I graduated, the feeling of getting my bachelor,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I didn't feel like, yeah. I felt like it's over. I can be me because I knew what I was doing. It was more like as a guarantee paper that I've done something
Mhm.
education wise. And of course, I do want to, as an individual, I want to go for my MBA and I want to go for my PhDs at one point. That's something I love learning. I love education, and that should be. It shouldn't be forced. It should be enjoyed, in my opinion. So whenever I finished, it was kind of like, all right, here's that on the side. Let me now rearrange
Let me do something that I want
and
Yeah.
reprioritize what I'm really, 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 really good at and what I'm really, really great at. Like from just doing this podcast, we're getting some people just DMing me like, did you major in journalism or did you major in media? Because, like it seems like you have somewhat experience. And I'm like, no, but it's just I enjoy really doing this and
Yeah.
I love talking. And that's something I've always enjoyed doing it on camera and off camera too. So it's kind of like we're at an age and it's kind of you tell somebody what is your background and then they go like, yeah, but now you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. it's
And then
always
you
that.
look back and then be like, yeah. And they go like, you okay? So it's very, and there's of course certain circumstances we all lived and went through. And you, to your point, when you got to a point when the war was there and before it used to be like, you have to get 8+ in every subject. And then when the war started, it's like, just pass.
Yeah, let me
Because the
just pass.
circumstances, like, and that's something in my grandparents' house isn't something like just pass. Like, you need to get, but whenever you hear them say just pass, like the circumstances is not the best. They just need you to pass for the sake of just be safe and pass the year and be done with it till next year, till we see where's this gonna go. But I think this subject can probably be tied to a lot of people. And just reading different articles, there are people who's been like Ellen DeGeneres. She worked in paralegal. She did some work
Office.
yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, like that's not what I really want.
I start with startup comedy
Yeah.
after that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she's have her own show. And I just feel like it takes so much courage to jump to the unknown and the uncertainty, which is why a lot of people go like, you have to make sure you maintain a job until you build the enough skills that you have to go chase your dreams, which is the right thing to do because you really don't want to just jump there unless if you really have the heart for it, but you really can be ending up hurting yourself. But it's the uncertainty that a lot of people are so afraid to kind of just admit and don't want to go after something because it sounds good, but no, I'm not going to do
just like
it.
what Bahat mentioned about people who like to know what time I'm going, what time I'm leaving,
Yes.
how much I'm gonna make this year.
Yeah, like they feel there's
Secured.
something. Yeah, they are secured, you know,
Yeah.
and they are not risk takers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it sounds good. You know, like you tell someone about an idea, you're like, hey, let's do this. He's like, sounds good. Yeah, it's really good. But what if we lose, for example?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Of course, everything has risk. You know, there is a risk at your job. You're getting fired at some point, maybe somehow, or
Right.
for no reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's always risk in
But-
everything. But I just don't like the 9 to 5, and I wish people
You're
get out
working
of it.
towards creating somebody else's vision. So the question is, what is my vision? And what do I really want to... Some people, which is like, oh, I really want to make a lot of money. And some people like you, it's like, I just want to buy my time and I want to spend more time with my family. And I just want to do that, which that's what really matters. Some people want to go after something that's very fulfilling. I am the type of person that's like, I want to do something so fulfilling because I know I'm going to do it to a point I'm really going to enjoy it. And I'm just going to, I don't know, just going to be more enjoyable altogether as a career / dream you're living.
What there is a really small steps from the companies and the workforce and even the government like workers, right? Into like shifting that work environment and the system, how it is for work. It's going somewhere better. We have like a lot of hybrid. We have a lot of remote. Have flexibility. Because life is going really faster than we can. Like I can't keep up with everything, news, information.
I can't believe we're middle of 2023 already.
No, like you open your phone and you're already zoomed in like 3,000 news about everything that has something to do with your life. It's not like something away.
Yeah.
And you get into that loop, right? So because life is getting really, really fast, that whole work environment needs to change, needs to evolve to something new.
I agree.
Like I can't be on a desk 9 to 5. I can't. Like traffic is crazy, not like it used to be in the 80s. You know.
And the infrastructure does not help. The growth of population.
Exactly, they're
and
not.
The amount of cars, like every single.
And you, as a human, currently in your young age, you have a lot of requirements to fulfill in your day, more than your dad, more than your grandfather, right? There's a lot to cut. Like you need to catch up with a lot.
Done like a lot in their life, and you're still.
Real estate was cheap when they were, and
everything was easier.
Paychecks were smaller.
I saw a video about that, like real estate.
Oh,
thing.
like your parents were in the club in the 80s while everyone is investing.
No, what was it? It was like. Oh, in 1920, real estate was so cheap, like $20 a house, for example. And here's your grandpa in the club spending hundreds.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who did not cut up with what's going on, and they did not have the vision to the future.
The
to their
values
kids.
were different.
Yeah.
Now let me ask each one of you. First, Noor, how far you are from your dream?
I think far still. Which I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, just halfway. I'm far, but I'm happy because I started the progress of getting where I want to get to. And it's all about literally asking yourself where you want to end up and what do you want to do, and trust that and go after it. And I think I'm taking baby steps, but I'm happy that I'm taking them rather than just completely be kind of ignoring the creative side. So I think me and Baha, we're very close to that vision of being in a creative field and just create. And I think it's the progress. I started it. So, but I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. But
so can you say that you are a step in one footstep in, at least, not two?
I would say a couple of steps in.
Okay.
I wouldn't say one step.
Good.
I don't know how many steps. Could be a million steps, but I'm a few steps in.
It's always the start.
Yeah.
Once you start, you have, okay, I'm here. Let me
Mhm.
get to there, because you're already into the path.
Right.
So putting yourself on the path is more important. But I'm glad that you're at least
What about you?
satisfied. Or me,
Mhm.
I'm still way far, not even on the path.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you want to do again?
The problem is I don't know what path to take. Let's put it
Okay.
that way. There's like multiple paths that I feel like I will fit in, but at the same time, because I have my needs, not just my dream, that is
Mm,
getting into the way. So like my needs is now. This is what I need, right? Like I want to change my car right now. I want to do this right now, and there is my dream, who I need to work on, and whatever level I want to be. Like what level I want
That's
to
a
be at in
really good
life.
point.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like your needs are something, you know, is in your way to
It's
your dreams.
sometimes it gets to the
Yeah.
necessity of like
Yeah,
something
no,
you have
like
to do.
like that's what I mean. No,
so it's a need, not a want.
yeah,
No, it's a need.
like
Okay.
it's a necessity,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
So like you can't pass it if that necessity is not cleared all the time.
Mhm.
How can you
How
pass?
can you pass
Yeah.
the normal life? Then you
Yeah.
have your dream, which is a totally different path next to it. So where are you in your dream? But how far you are, you think?
Are you chasing it?
Yeah,
He's
of
trying
course.
to catch it somewhere. Are you here?
You know, like yeah, I think in 2019, I I love being creating. I love being involved in
Media.
media.
Yeah.
You know, so being here today, that's like a
Part of what I like to
you
do.
know
Yeah.
part of something I really love, and I consider it is part of my dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's on that side, but at the same time, I have other stuff that I really want to achieve, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but I'm working on them, which is awesome.
Good.
Like
Great. I'm the
I'm
only one lost
fortunate.
in this group.
No, not really. I mean, you know what it is, but like, I feel like I'm fortunate enough that I am able to, you know, to
Yeah.
work on stuff that I really want to do. And at the same time, like, I'm still far, you know,
Mhm.
like, for example, we have 62 subscribers on YouTube.
Is it 62? It
Yeah.
was 60 last time I checked.
See, she got
Yeah.
excited about two
Two
more subscribers.
subscribers.
But imagine like if we have like 200,000.
Oh,
you know?
that would be great. Yeah.
You know, like
We'll be having
our audience would grow.
This is turning to make a wish.
No, not really. No, but like, listen, like,
Yeah.
When it gets
we
to
just started.
No, and
Okay.
when it gets to that level, and people really, if they would like to hear us or whatever,
Mhm.
and we get to, for example, 1 million subscriber,
Uh-huh.
Wow.
how much time all of us are gonna spend to be even more creative, to do more even
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
Because Noor doesn't have to
not
go to her job, Baha doesn't have to go to his
It's
job.
good to have a
I don't have to
focus.
look for a job, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like this, but at the end of the day, like, I'm glad that you guys both are in getting the steps in, and I'm glad that I am stepping with you in each of your dreams, maybe. And I'm in everyone's dreams like this, but
Yeah, like,
at the end of the day, we're trying as a generation. I feel like we're trying really hard to catch up with the new generation and all these new sectors and new fields that we have to fit ourselves in, and at the same time, we are really the last of the ones who hold values. That's how I feel. Our generation is still has the values, the good values, the principles in
Yeah.
life, right? And it is good, but at the same time, it's kind of hold us back, and it's just a mix of all stuff that we have to deal with, and that's why it's really hard.
I totally agree. We're fortunate. Like people say, I mean, I'm 89, but people say, oh, the 90s generation is
The bad ones, yeah.
not the bad ones. They were like they always on social media complain they are unlucky.
Yeah.
We are.
They are
We were in
missing
a
on so many things. But actually, like they,
from specific region. No.
yeah, but like generally, honestly, like I've seen videos, Saudis, Kuwaitis, Jordanians, like everyone who's like born in 1990 to 99, they are complaining. Oh, we are Jil in 90. Or, I don't know what's wrong with us. We are not
Because
getting
here's what
our
happened.
fair share. No, actually, you guys lived.
We got screwed up from being. We got screwed up from
See?
not being.
See, that's the 90s. See? Yeah, go ahead.
That's how I feel.
We got screwed up from not even being like technology really waited for the boom. Don't tell me the boom. Probably the
boom's
email
when we
boom
were
happened when me and Sean, like whenever we were young. Like I remember chat rooms. I remember MSN.com.
It wasn't that crazy.
It wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't cybersecurity and game streams and YouTuber. That wasn't a thing. Like whenever YouTube was popular, Jenna Marbles.
Schools, yeah.
Let's talk about Jenna Marbles. Like people, like the YouTubers were like probably 5 that we can really like watch, and there's no like. There's 355,000 YouTuber right now in every different sector, and everybody's making money. Like that's amazing, and I'm so happy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not even with those folks, and we're not even with the folks that are committed. So we're like in the middle of like we're gonna create our own reality, and but to go back to the subject of like living our dreams late, probably defining them later in life is the big battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think realizing what you want or what you want to be, living as your identity is the biggest question.
Yeah.
Once you know that, or once you have answer to that, that's like half the battle. And then how to go about it is a whole other battle. But at least,
yeah,
becoming
like
halfway.
I totally believe in
Fate.
yeah, and like no, what I'm trying to say is that at some point you'll be successful. Okay, it doesn't have to be when you're 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like an example that I really like in the Arab world is Mohammed bin Ali Abbar. He's the CEO of Shirkat Amar.
Mm-hmm.
I saw an interview for him the other day. He's like, I felt I became successful when I was 39.
Yeah.
You know?
Or 37, I think.
Yeah, I think 39 or 38, something like that. But he said everything before that was not fulfilling to me,
Yeah.
And he was able to be successful, and he felt he's successful when he was 38.
After failing so many times, he's tried so many things and failed.
I tried so many things, and I failed. Okay. Like I remember years ago, I was like, okay, I'm going to start this real estate company. I'm going to flip things. I'm going to work with a partner. And the first thing I thought of is like, I have to have an office to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I went and I rented an office, and guess what? I got nothing to do. Okay, what is it? Is it only having an office? No, that's not enough.
He just connected the phone like Susie Meyerson.
Exactly. Yeah, I have an office, and I have a desk, phone line.
Had a phone.
I have everything. I got all of it. But guess what?
Susie Meyerson Associates.
You guys are
shout out to the marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah, it's a great
we love that show.
So. And then a month later, I was like, what am I doing? That's wrong. Then I did something else. I believed in it so much. It worked. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to give it to someone else to work on it, and it will generate money for me. And
it didn't work, huh?
And it failed again. And I was like, okay, I did something wrong again, But that's how you learn.
That's how life is.
If you don't fail,
it's
you'll never get up, and you'll never learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then at some point, something will be successful.
I'm at a state where I really don't want to be I don't want to join any corporates. I don't want to be under any pressure
Corporate
when it comes.
America?
Yeah, I don't want to go through that system again.
It's actually
even though I need it. You see, back to it. I wish I don't want to have to go back to it, but I need it because this is how the jobs are. And this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to need to pay my bills, to be able to travel, see my family, do something, right? Pay my own stuff.
And now somebody in the comments going to be like, 2023, freelance, do this. We're ready for your comment. That's not
It's
always
hard.
the case.
There is like 1,000 of you guys. Can you all go all quit and I'll be there? But like there is,
You need the
there is-
guaranteed income.
No, you need a guarantee to just to have that peace of mind when you go sleep, and it is important to have that. And at the same time, you will rethink, oh, I'm wasting 10 to 12 hours of my day.
It's
just
big.
prepare to work,
It's
drive
big.
to work, or be on a meetings, or
It's stressful, and
It
it's is to a point it can be depressing. I'm not
is.
even joking, and
No.
I'm a person that holds a full-time job, and sometimes I drive from work and I just feel like my anger as I'm going back home, it's not on the people or everybody's driving, it's just at myself of just like, am I really still doing this? Even though I enjoy what I do, but it's kind of like the time, as you mentioned, it's like the most valuable currency.
Mhm.
And it's like, how can I, or how quick can I get my business up and running on the side until I can finally quit and be completely independent, no matter what it is. But the gist of this episode, it's literally, we all, maybe not all, but the people that dream and that are ambitious, we have this constant battle, but go after your vision. Set a plan, put things on paper. And that's something we've done, where we just sat down and we put everything on paper. It's like, what do we really want and how can we get there? And it's kind of...
Yeah, I know that paper is on the pantry door there.
We look at it every day.
Yeah.
And
Oh, is that what it is?
yeah.
I've seen a paper on that door, and I didn't even look at it, but
You didn't?
all I see is shakhabit.
Yeah, no, that paper is
and
from
like a
last
pink
year.
or red.
Yeah, Baha was like, come here.
Yeah.
Because I have those deep conversations until he got sick and he's like, what do you want? What do you really want? Because I was in a blame phase in life. And it's like, I'm doing this, but I really don't want to anymore, but I want that. And I feel like that's a lot of us. You're not alone. We completely feel you here, and just trust your gut and just work on it. Don't just say that I want this, I want that. We all can talk, but at the same time, just go after it, have a plan, and take steps.
So, Noor, I'm going to just ask each one of you to say a code word, right?
A code word, okay.
For
HTML.
like let's say that let's
CSS.
say your dream is to be an actress or
Mhm.
have a brand, okay?
Mhm.
You're gonna give me a code where in a couple more years, if I come back, I'll be like, oh, that's what she meant because she made it now. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by code?
Like, I'm gonna ask you, what's your dream?
Mhm.
But give it to me in a code word. Like, for example, if my dream is to have, if to own a car company,
Mhm.
probably I have a name for it that no one knows. So I'm gonna give you that name. So in a couple more years, when I come, I'll say, you remember that word that I told you in the video? That's what I made it today. So
Oh my
So
god!
I'm gonna-
I have it. I have one.
okay, Baha, let's start with you while Noor think about
Should
it.
I say it?
Give me your dream in a code word.
I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. MIT Techno.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask you what it is.
Yeah.
Noor.
I have so many, but
No, the main one, the one that when you do it, you'll be like, that's it.
As a business,
I don't know. Your dream it can be just you with your chicken somewhere.
That's cute.
Yeah. But what is
I
it?
don't
Give
want
me
to dream anymore.
what is your
I want to be with a chicken somewhere.
I would love to have them.
That
When
is
a
so
cat,
cute.
no. Yeah. What? Tell me.
I would say Vulala.
You'll say the word
Ooh.
vulala. Kind of like we know about it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're not gonna say what it is. Mine will be
Eh? You never share.
SHP.
SHP.
That's something you have to remember.
P or B?
P.
SHP. Eh?
Yeah. And
Something production. I don't know.
and shukri.
شكري بزونة.
Yes.
والله العظيم مبين بالنسبة شكري.
Yeah. So that's
Shall
how
we want to get a cat and want to name
Oh, yeah,
him
so it's a
Shukri?
bit-
yeah. So we're like that's my thing. When it happened, we'll get back to it.
Okay.
I personally have like a entrepreneurial
Scottish,
dream.
grey, blue eyes.
Shukri
Shukri.
has to be Shukri.
You might have fans and they'll just ship you a Scottish cat in a box.
Oh, imagine.
I don't want to have pets. It's not like I cannot afford them. I don't want to have them right now because I'm not stable at a house. I'm not stable in my life. I'm going to be busy out. So once I have them, that means I'm really stable now. I know
Yeah.
what to do with my life. And that's one
Yeah.
of them as a dream. Cool. Well, it was really good to chat. It's kind of like a long episode or something that people probably think
It's-
about
Yeah,
all
it
the
was
time.
about 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but we always sit like this and talk, guys. So
This
if you guys
was-
episode like this, we can have a different subject and talk about it.
Yeah.
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 So
Thank you, everyone who have watched. Please subscribe, like, comment.
if you guys not gonna subscribe, like I've been asking nicely, but like my personality gonna come out. No,
Don't
But-
you want to make anyone dream true?
donate below. We just every click and just activate the alerts and watch our shorts and watch our. You don't have to watch every episode we have out. Just see what really resonates with you in your life and watch it and try to enjoy it and give us some feedback because we know we're in progress of making this better and we're open for feedback. But please subscribe and share it with at least, I don't know, 10 people that you know.
Yeah.
Help us out.
Listen to us also on the platforms that we have in the channel. It's kind of like everywhere. So if you have someone who does not really like opening a video and see, you still
Apple
can just listen to us
Podcasts,
and just put a
Spotify.
comment there because it's pretty empty still.
Give
So
us
we
a
want
review.
something.
That
Yeah.
would mean so much to us too.
Cool.
So-
All right.
I'll
Go after your dreams.
go after your dreams.
Don't
Absolutely.
Thank you,
forget.
everyone.
Do that.
Take care.
Peace.
That's awesome.